Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kim Barrett Show. I am your host, Kim Barrett, and on today's episode, we are diving into all things meta ads and why are they so complicated. So if you've ever thought that meta ads are complicated, you're not sure what to do with them, this is the episode for you. Of course, if you ever need any help with your marketing, head over to www.joinmygroup.com.au, a free Facebook community where we have everything you need and more to help you grow your ads, grow your business, get better results. But until then, let's jump into the show. Now, today I wanted to dive in, you've just got me. I really wanted to dive into the complexities of meta ads because a lot of people, they tell me ads are too hard, they're too complex, they're too complicated. And look, you can make ads as complex and complicated as you want to. If you want to have a complex ad system, if you want to have conversion APIs, pushing back data from certain points in your CRM back to Facebook to optimize things, absolutely you can. But most people overthink Facebook ads. Now, if you've listened to the podcast time and time again, you might remember me talking about the NOC method, which is niche, offer, and copy. They're the only three things that you actually need to worry about when it comes to running your ads on social media, on Facebook, on Meta. They're the only three parts. Now, when you look at the actual structure of an ad, yes, there are some things that can seem complex and complicated, but I want to distill it down for you guys because ultimately we don't have to have a complex ad. Number one, you need to identify where your conversion mechanism is going to be. What I mean by conversion mechanism, it's like where are you actually going to have this sales process or conversation? Are you running DMs? Are you wanting to be able to use a webinar? Are you having a sales call? Like what's the point in the flow of your process that you want to get people to? So that's what you need to start off with because there's no point in running a conversion campaign if you want to sell people via DMs. There's no point in getting DMs if you want to get people onto a webinar. There's a whole range of different things that you can do, but it also depends on what you want to start with. That's why I mean, it's like people overly complicate things because they don't know at the beginning, what do they want to focus on? They don't know at the beginning, what's the core outcome that they want to achieve? That's what you need to know first. Then you can go into the ads because then from there, I call it, the Sherpa method. And I like it having like a little set of babushka dolls. You have a big one, you have a little one, you have a littler one, and they all unpack into each other. Now, the only parts of a campaign that you need to even think about in totality are three sections. First is the campaign section. What sort of campaign are you going to run? And that's the objective. Like, what do we actually want to do here? Do we want leads? Do we want sales? Do we want webinar registrations? What are we going for? The next step, the next little babushka doll down is what are we actually marketing towards? Are we marketing towards males, females, Australia-wide? Now, again, Facebook, if you've seen any of my recent podcasts, will tell you that, you should just do it. You should just put it broad and go to everyone. If your ad account's not prepared, if you're not prepared for that, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the right way to go about it. I think you need to have a different approach. Again, personal conjecture, personal opinion. Take what I say with a grain of salt, but I think that's what you need to do. So if you're understanding what you want to do with your leads as they come in, the next section is who do you want those leads to be? I personally believe you've got to dial in your niche. You've got to put together some targeting. You've got to identify who you want to target, how you want to target them before you can go and push it out to a huge range of people and let Facebook's algorithm do its thing. You've got to go through first. You've got to identify it. You've got to bring them in. Now, once you know that, once you know exactly where you're going to do it, the next part's like you need to know where you're going to place it. Again, Facebook will say just place it everywhere, but you might be really powerful on Instagram. You might be really powerful on Facebook. You might be really powerful in WhatsApp. You've got to know where you want those ads to be placed, where you want to direct them towards. That's the last part of that. And then finally, which again, niche, offer, copy, right? NOC, the last part, the offer and copy come together. That's where you set up and you can identify how you're going to speak to someone, where you want people to end up, put in your content, put in your videos, edit them and adjust them. And that to me is the biggest point of conjecture for most people is that they don't know how to then speak to them. But if you know how you're going to generate an inquiry, you know who you want to speak to, right? Then the next step becomes real easy. The next step is simple. All you need to do is then articulate to that person how what you have is going to help them. It's really that simple. It doesn't have to be overly complex and complicated. And the copy that you use, yes, there are skills, there are tactics, there are strategies you can use to improve your copy. But basically, if you can speak to that person, share how you're going to help them overcome that issue, that's the most important piece. That's the piece that you need to focus on. And again, if you do that, it works, right? It's simple. But if you don't, it'll be hard and complex and complicated. And it might take you a few times to get it working. Most people think, I've got my ads done, boom, I'm going to make money tomorrow. Not the case, unfortunately. Not the case. What happens most often is it's going to take you 2, 3, 4 iterations of your ads to get it dialed in, to get it to the point where it's like producing like clockwork. It's not always going to be immediate. You do need to go through that process. You do need to go through, take the time, energy, and effort into understanding who your audience is. Then you can go through the next step. And then what happens is you can identify the next part of your puzzle, right? Because again, once you get your ads working, your sales process becomes the next part you need to review. But as I said, if I can do this in like 6, 7 minutes and share with you guys the structure of how an ad can be effective, you can do it too. It doesn't have to be complex. It doesn't have to be complicated. But I will asterisk caveat all of this. Do it on your computer. Too many people I see like, oh, I'm doing this on my phone. I'm doing this and here, and I can't see the stats. Use a computer. Like most people have laptops these days. You have desktop computers, right? Use a computer. It's going to make your life much easier. You also avoid any of the issues where Apple's starting to take a little clip of the dollars as they go through if you boost it off of your phone. So go through and set your ad up properly. Use your computer, set it up, structure it, and away you go. And if you do that, ads are simple. You don't have to be overly complex. It's easy. And again, if you need any help, feel free, reach out to me on social media. I've got a free training at the moment, the Fast Ads Formula, that can help you generate more leads online fast. And of course, if you need anything else, please let me know. If you have any questions, let us know as well. We'd love to help and answer them on the podcast. If this has been beneficial to you, please share it with someone else. Share it, get it out there, help more people grow their businesses via paid ads. Until next time, I'm Kim. You've all been awesome. Adios. I'll see you then.